So what does this mean, the idea that students can use Duke as a laboratory?
I think the concept that we're really trying to go for in that notion of a laboratory is that using Duke to prepare not only for thriving here across the 4 years when a student is an undergraduate or other time when they're a graduate student, but the reality is that the competencies they build here are the same competencies they're going to use across a lifetime. They're going to change jobs, they're going to go to graduate school, they're going to make lots of decisions, and if we can empower them now, we think they will thrive across time.
So what's an example of a competency that I could learn at Duke in this laboratory that will benefit me later in life?
Yeah, I think there are many, but the one that comes to mind first is really the notion that a student can learn to network. And networking is something that for many students, particularly our more introverted students, is pretty scary. And in reality, they're doing it every day here. They're building relationships with faculty members. They're building relationships with club leaders. They're building relationships or stewarding relationships with upperclassmen or alumni or faculty. And we try to use those as specific opportunities and examples, Stephanie, when a student is really learning to do the networking in a relatively safe environment that they're going to have to do for internships, they're going to have to do if they're studying abroad, or they're going to have to do to go into the postgraduate room. And it is that if I thrive here, if I succeed here, if I practice here, life becomes easier.
Yeah, that makes sense. Is there any other skills that, I think there's probably so many, but...
Yeah, there are many. I would say the second one that comes up, and it's something that we use as a foundational competency in the Career Center, is really the notion of reflection. And what we mean by reflection is very simply, do I know what I anticipate I want from an experience or a class? Do I actually understand within the context of that experience how I can influence it in a positive way? And then at the end, can I really reflect on that experience and say, here's what I gained, here's what I missed, here's how I might do this more effectively later. And then finally, the piece that people often don't do is, how does what I learned now affect the next set of decisions I'm going to make? And so again, you see the notion of current moment, thriving in the moment, having an effect on future planning. The laboratory come to life.
Does the Career Center specifically teach any of those skills of networking, of reflection, or create environments that allow those skills to flourish?
Yeah, almost everything we do is designed to actually do that. If we do a career fair, if we bring alumni back on campus, if we are in an individual counseling session with a student. At our career fairs, we do what we call a backstage pass, where students get to observe the event before they are thrust into it, and they're taught how to do it. And so, yeah, in groups, individually, and by experiential opportunities, we are constantly in the process of trying to reinforce the notion of Duke as a laboratory and Duke as a place to thrive within and beyond.
Cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.